The Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series. What a postseason we are having. Really surprised that the Phillies were actually able to beat the Padres. Did not think it was going to happen. But there they are. Clutch hitting throughout this series. Clutch pitching throughout this series for the Phils. And honestly, it's going to be one heck of a postseason in that World Series. Yeah, so this is a series I did not think would go this way. I predicted the Padres to win 4-2, and then it ended up going the other way, 4-1. So, shout out to the Phillies for getting that job done. Really good hitting throughout most of the lineup. Bryce Harper had good home runs. Rhys Carson had good home runs. JT Realmuto had good ABs too. A lot of guys had some really good ABs. And I actually did think San Diego played a pretty good series themselves. You look at most of the games, and they were hitting the ball pretty well. It was just really the pitching when you come down to it. The one game they did win game 2, they won 8-5, so they pretty much outscored them on that front. But all of their games, like game 3 they scored 2, game 4 they scored 6, and then game 5 they scored 3. So, they did put up some runs. If it really comes down to it, it's just the pitching, right? The pitching just wasn't there for most of the series. And most of the starters were pretty good. They only gave up like 2-3 runs most of the time, but the bullpen was the one I think that kind of blew it open during most of the series at least. Yeah, but I just still can't believe the clutch hitting we have from the Phillies in this hitting core. It's kind of crazy to think about. With Schwarber hitting home runs, anyone in this lineup can hit home runs. Gene Segura with clutch base hits, Alex Bohm with clutch base hits, Marsh clutch base hits. So I think my takeaways on this series are really surprising, honestly, that the Phillies were actually able to do this. I really thought the Padres had this one. So I think that's the big shock factor. I can't wait to see what happens in this World Series. I think for the Padres, though, you got to look at it and be like, well, you did have a good season, You make the playoffs, had some unfortunate events like Bob Melvin was saying in a couple of the interviews with guys dropping. You got the trade deadline he was talking about. There was a crazy bunch of different guys. You don't really know who's on the team, who's safe. And then you actually make the postseason. You end up beating the Mets, which I thought was very surprising. I really thought the Mets were actually going to win that one. And you go ahead and face the Dodgers, your number one enemy pretty much all year. They finally get over the hump for the Dodgers, and you're thinking, oh, this is their year. They finally beat the Dodgers, had a successful season, finally get over your division rival. And then you go to the Phillies and you get smoked, and it's kind of like, what just happened? But big takeaways, I think pitching is a real big thing for this team. Yeah, so my big takeaway, I think the Padres really need some good pitchers on this squad, which is a good because it's a big free agent pitching market. Because if you look at all their series games, the other team always scored runs. They never outscored a team pretty much. They've always had runs on the board in all 3 of the series they played. So I think that's a big thing. They could definitely get some better pitchers in the squad. I think the lineup is pretty good. It's a pretty good lineup they got here. They could maybe improve on a couple positions here or there depending on what the market's looking like. But overall, it's a great roster. And, we'll wait and see if they get any more pieces in the offseason or what they do in the offseason. But yeah, this Padres team is going to be good for a couple more years. They'll be in the playoffs probably a couple more times. And then for the Phillies, you're only 4 more victories away from winning the whole thing. So, this is the underdog story if you gotta ask me. So as it currently stands, the Phillies currently wait to see who they play between the Houston Astros and the Yankees. Probably gonna be the Astros. They already have 3-0. That 4th game's delayed right now. But if I had to take a guess, I'd imagine it's gonna be Phillies Astros. So it's funny because both of those teams haven't lost a game at home yet. So it's gonna be interesting if the series is gonna go that way. I kind of doubt it, but I guess we'll wait and see. So it's gonna be very exciting. I can't wait to see what happens in that series, but yeah, we gotta wait and see up to that point. So congratulations for the Phillies for winning their pennant. The last time they did that was 2009, that they won that, and they lost to New York Yankees in that World Series. And the last time they won the World Series was 2008, so the previous season. So it's been a little bit for them since they made it back here. Shorter than other teams, obviously, like Cleveland. But yeah, if I have to make a prediction for the World Series, the Phillies and the Astros, which it's probably going to be, it's so hard to call. The Astros have looked so good throughout this whole postseason. But the Phillies only dropped 2 games. They've only lost 2 games. They lost the game 2 to the Braves and the Padres. So they haven't really lost much. So if I had to make a prediction, I really do want the Phillies to win this, which, I hope happens. But the Astros are the better team, I think. The Astros overall have a better team, so I guess we'll wait and see. But, it's got to go 7 games, right? You imagine this goes 7 games. So I'm going to take the Astros in 7. So with that being said, I hope the Phillies end up winning because I haven't picked them once to win, and they've kept winning. So hopefully that keeps working in my favor. But yeah, I think I'm going to go the Astros in 7 for that World Series. I think the pitching overall for both teams is pretty good. Astros probably have a little bit better bullpen and more depth. Then the hitters are pretty equally matched. It's kind of hard to call. But I guess we'll wait and see on that World Series. So it should be exciting. We'll see who actually ends up winning this Houston-New York series. I mean, it's going to be the Astros probably, but it says delayed start right now, so we don't really know at this point. But yeah, it's been a crazy postseason with all these upsets we've had in the NL, and the AL's been pretty, I guess, pretty normal as you can see. But hopefully the Phillies end up winning. I'm rooting for them in this World Series. Let me know who you guys got in this World Series, the Phillies or Astros. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys are enjoying the postseason, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.